My talk is going to be about risk taking as a content creator. And I suggested it because the global summit, I really like what they're trying to do is they don't want something that's heavy on Excel tips and tricks. They want to get into things like what is it like to start a business in this space? Um, you know, someone being a consultant, what is that like? Celia Alves is going to be talking about that. So then what else is in this world of Excel, online, and being a content creator?
Right.
And I thought about why don't I share some of my shift,
Hmm.
because I started out my YouTube channel with basic straightforward tutorials that
Hmm.
was boring me. And then when I would go out in the world and help people with Excel, I saw they weren't Excel geeks who had a lot of patience for a 9-minute video on on pivot tables,
Right.
right? So now there is that audience and they're served. But who did I want to serve and how did I want to serve them? I felt like they needed some candy.
Hmm.
So I wrap drama and music into what I do. But it was a risk. And I remember the turn that I made when I put music on my first video. And when people complained about the music, they complained about how I used it,
Right.
not that I used it. So there is take a risk, throw something out there. Let the
Mhm.
universe say whether we like this or not.
Right.
You
Oh
know,
man, I totally hear you on that. So it sounds like, the stuff that came back when you say it was like, it wasn't like they had a problem with you using music. And I think some people would think, oh, it's going to be the music. In fact, they just gave you feedback. They're like, we like it. Here's ways you can improve. And once you did that, you were like, this makes sense to me. I understand, where they're coming from. And
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's super important what you were saying too, that like a lot of people will ask, well, why don't we do this or why don't we do that? Or they'll think, oh, I think Layla said it to me once. She was like, if I spent that much time thinking about how I was going to do something, Jordan, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I wouldn't do it. And so,
mhm,
like, I was overthinking stuff, which, and I just realized why not let the market decide, like, test it, like you're saying, throw it out there. Very few people are upset that when you throw stuff out there. And
yeah. And that's the thing is where is your audience? So
right.
maybe there are a whole bunch of different VLOOKUP videos out there already. Maybe there isn't one for an audience that is looking for your way.
Hmm. That's true.
And yeah, and Chandu made a good point when we interviewed him on Excel TV when I asked, why would I write a book that you've written a book on? And he said people buy, the same books on the same topic from different authors to get a different take.
Hmm.
Wow.
What do you say to the Excel people who are like, well, it's all been done before? What do you say to them? And they say, and for that reason, they don't want to try.
That um that can take us in a whole lot of different directions because I felt like the world does not need another dry ass VLOOKUP video. So
Right.
when I did a VLOOKUP video, I covered context. What happens when it breaks? What is it good for? Don't listen to these index match zealots.
Hmm.
I covered the whole thing and not just another here's how you do it. You look up and then you look up range and blah, blah, blah. That's been done. Don't need that. But if somebody came to me wanting some advice, these are decisions that each person has to make.
Hmm.
Um, but I do encourage people, you know, what do you think you would add to it? Right. And then also, what is their goal? Is their goal to get on YouTube and try to make a living out of ad dollars? Then
Hmm.
maybe they can do that. and then they'll figure out how to make the driest, most straightforward, tightest videos and game the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And if that's their goal, then I'm not the guy to talk to about that. I don't know how to do that. I don't want to know how to do that. That's
I
a lot.
still think no, I think that like you may be the guy to talk to about some of it. I think that what happens is people who fall into that category, they don't really think of themselves as content creators. And I think like I really dismiss the whole like YouTube space. I mean, I know we were on YouTube, but I didn't really understand the internet, I guess, and like the potential out there and how much it seemed like everything had already been done to me in my head. And so like how much potential, how many more people, how we're so connected now across 7 billion people. Like there's audiences popping up for everything right
Right.
now, and attention is easier to get. So I guess like for me, some of those people, I think if they want to grow their audience, they should listen to you, and they should like see like they don't have to be. Nobody's going to be Oz. Like you are 100% Oz. So it's going to
Right.
be. There are people with other personalities who are far more copyable, even if you'll never be that person. But you Oz are like really one of a kind. So if everyone could embrace that about themselves too, they would see that their own audience is there waiting for them to speak to them. So make sure to go check out Oz's talk at the Global Excel Summit. Oz, thank you so much for joining me on this call. I really, really appreciate it. Until next time, keep on excelling. We'll see you, everyone.
Right.